Okay, in 5.1 we multiply polynomials, binomials, monomials, polynomials. Okay, multiplying polynomials is the same as distributive property from grade 9. So if you remember distributive property, super easy. I just have to multiply this inside here. So that'll be an easy distributive property question on its own. So this is just 5x plus 15. But this is all one question, and you probably should have experienced a question like this in distributive property last year as well. Now I got to do the positive 3 times x is 3x, and negative 15. And then I got to collect my like terms. 5x and 3x is 8x. 15 minus 15 is gone, and this is a simplified version of that expression. Now, this is kind of the same thing as multiplying binomials. So this is a binomial with two terms. This is a binomial with two terms. This just means multiply x by these guys, multiply 2 by these guys. So I can write that out as my first step. I would never do this though, because it's a waste of time. But if you want to see it this way, it's kind of nice. I can say this is x times 2x plus 3 plus 2 times 2x plus 3. Okay, so I turn this into distributive property. Again, you don't need to show the step. I'll show you way faster ways after. And now I can multiply. X times 2x is 2x squared. X times 3 is 3x. I move here. Positive 2 times 2x is positive 4x. 2 times 3 is 6. Now, every time I do multiplying binomials, as long as it's binomials with an x, there's always going to be a middle that I have to collect. The outsides are different terms. So this is going to be 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. And I've expanded these binomials. And if you notice, what we did is we actually went from intercept form to standard form. Right? We never really want to do this, but we need to know how to go to standard form easily before we're able to go backwards, which is the more useful tactic. Okay, so the only thing here is this step is not needed. Okay, and to be honest, this step is probably not needed either. I'll show you how to get right to the answer just with your brain. Let's take a look at these ones. Multiply each binomial. Easy, easy, easy. Maybe an extra step. Take your time. Might be a disaster, right? So it depends on the difficulty of the question as well. So for instance, over here, I'm actually just going to draw lines to help me. I'm just going to multiply the x by both of those terms. X times x is x squared. X times 3 is 3x. So I just did the orange right there. Now I'm going to take the 2 and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to multiply it by the 2 terms over there. Okay, so that notation avoids that first step. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 3 is 6. Collect the middle into a 5x. So my final answer is done. Same thing here. Now I have a negative. Okay, negatives are going to cause some issues. You'll see. More so if it was actually written the other way, but it's okay. X times x without doing the lines now. So I'm trying to reduce my work every single question I do. That's why I like to do a lot of questions, because there's a percent of saving of time that I can do every question. X times x is x squared. X times 4 is 4x. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. So be careful with those negatives. Collect the middle. Too easy. Next one. I don't have an x in the front. Now I have a 3x. It's okay. I just have to multiply larger numbers. They're still really easy. 3x times x. Draw some lines now because it's increase of difficulty. 3x squared. 3x and negative 5. Negative 15x. 7 times x. 7x. 7 times negative 5. Negative 35. Okay, this is a great time for a mistake alert. Guys are thinking 22 in the middle. You're all wrong. That's not 22. It's not 15 plus 7. It's negative 15 plus 7. So my final answer is 3x squared minus 8x minus 35. Probably the most common mistake that happens right there. When this first x is negative, we just look at it like this. 15 plus 7. That's wrong. Okay, it's negative 15 plus 7. Okay, this next one has a number in the front. Sometimes you're going to get numbers in the front, the a value of a quadratic expression, whatever the case may be. I never double numbers at the beginning. I'm very comfortable with doubling numbers at any time. So I always save doubling numbers to the end because I can double a difficult question, no problem. But I don't want to work with double the size of numbers because then I'm going to move slower. So I'd rather ignore this for now and work with that, then throw it in later. But that's up to you. If these were fractions in here and doubling those fractions would eliminate the fractions, of course I would do that. Okay, so it's kind of, each question is separate. But I'm going to keep that 2 on the outside, and I'm going to open up brackets and expand that binomial. 4x and 7x is 28x squared. 4x and negative 6, negative 24x. This is too close. Negative 5 and 7, negative 35x. And negative 5 and negative 6 is positive 30. Brackets. I still don't want to put the 2 in there because then I have to do it 4 times instead of 3 times. So I'm going to bring the 2 down. 28x squared. That's 59. Another mistake alert. Whenever we're doing subtracting negatives or subtraction, we kind of don't see that first negative there. Now that I have this, now I'm going to distribute the negative 2 in here. So this is going to be negative 56x squared plus 118x minus 60, and now I fully expanded this guy. It would have been the same answer if I distributed this 2 inside here first, or this 2 inside here first. But there's no reason that I would do that. I have no problem multiplying these larger numbers by 2, but it would have taken me longer, I think, to work with an 8 and a 10. I could be wrong though, I don't know. I'm just making the best judgment call I can at the beginning of a question. That's all I can do. All right, one more. Okay, so I can treat this like 2 separate questions. I'm going to expand those brackets first and leave the 2 outside there. I've already seen that I can do that. And then I'm going to treat that one separately, and I'm going to be careful for this negative. So really, I'm doing this. Expanding that and expanding that. Okay, I'm just doing the brackets first. I'll show you a quick way of expanding the brackets for that middle term. It's actually really easy. So the first one is easy. X times x, x squared. The last one's easy too, minus 21. Those are the easy ones. You can't get those wrong. The middle, if you combine the outside multiple with the inside multiple, that is your middle term. Okay? It's a bit of an advanced tactic because you have to store one piece of information in your head, but it's kind of easy. Negative 3x, 7x. Positive 4x remains. You see that? Negative 3 times x, so negative 3x is in my head. 7x, positive 7x. You combine those, it's always like an easy addition or multiplication that we are very capable of doing. Too difficult? No problem. Do this. No problem. Let's do it again. 8x squared goes in the front. Negative 3 goes at the end. Negative 4, positive 6 is positive 2x. Negative 4x, positive 6x. Positive 2x wins. Okay, and I like that strategy because when we go backwards, that outside and inside is going to come in handy to understand that those are pairs, we call them. All right, now I'm going to expand this in here. 2x squared plus 8x minus 42. This is kind of like a negative 1 that's not really written there. So I can distribute the negative 1 inside, or you can think, well, if it's a negative sign, that means all the signs are going to change. Yeah, sure, that's faster to think of. So I have to change all the signs because of this negative. And now I finally don't have brackets. Now I can finally collect my like terms. 8x minus 2x is positive 6x. And then negative 42 and 3, that's not 45. Even over here, mistake alert, it's not 45. Negative 39. Done. Okay, so save work where you can. Maybe don't do this at first. Maybe do a few of them where you're showing your work. But as you get comfortable with doing this, your brain will be able to do that more efficiently. Okay, but just don't do it from the beginning. And this is multiplying polynomials.